Alrighty, friends, welcome back to another episode of Carter and Kat's Weather Chat. I'm Carter.
And I'm Kat.
And this is our weather chat.
This week we're going to be talking about the very powerful storm Hurricane Melissa made landfall last week over Jamaica. Very devastating Category 5 hurricane. We're going to be talking about its unique details as well as going over the top 10 strongest hurricanes. We also have a very special guest with us. We have Pete Beretta. He is a former firefighter and now a meteorologist. We're going to talk about his perspective of being a first responder as well as a meteorologist and kind of how that, crosses over, especially in your career now. But we're so excited to have you here, Pete. Oh,
Pete.
Thanks, guys. I love you. Thank you so much.
You're our first guest on our podcast.
Yay.
So we're really excited to
Thanks
have
for
you
being
here.
here.
So.
You can only do go up.
But-
I do gotta say, I'm kind of sad. What about the KRBC shirt there? You wearing the KTAB shirt?
I can't find my carrot shirt.
Oh, well, that's okay.
I
We
looked in the
support. We
closet and I
support
went,
both.
what did I do with that shirt?
so you're going to wear
I
that
had to
one?
pull the name tag off of this one. Before. It's never been worn before.
Oh, no.
Yeah, nothing against your station, by the way.
Okay. I mean, technically I'm on both sides now.
You're on both sides now.
So
Yeah,
it's,
we like them both.
yeah, love for all. But so yeah, you were a former firefighter for. You told me you started at Dias, and then you went to the Abilene Fire Department, and now you're obviously a meteorologist. So tell us a little bit about your background. Just give us all the details about yourself and starting as a firefighter and then transitioning into meteorology.
You want to know all about me, Miss
I
Cat?
do.
It's funny. This is a hilarious story because I was born in Rhode Island, where all the other Italians are born.
Oh wow.
And then we moved to San Diego, California. I was raised there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I joined the Air Force and ended up smack dab in the middle. So out there, they talk one way. In California, hey, dude, surf's up. And then you come, howdy. I got all the
Oh,
different
boy.
accents.
Yeah.
But I knew, honest to God, Carter, that I was here 3 weeks. And I said, if I never get orders, I'll never leave this town. And the guys out there would be, are you nuts? You're from San Diego. And I'm like, I'm never going to leave. The people here are great.
Oh.
I love the people here, but there's nothing to do. I don't care.
You're like, I'm just fine with nothing to do.
I don't care.
Yeah. Now, did you meet your wife here?
Yes.
Okay. What
As
is
a
she?
matter of fact, she was working here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I
Okay.
was coming by because I was a firefighter. My last 3.5, 4 years on the fire department, they made me the PR guy.
Oh, okay.
So I was like PIO, marketing guy. I was a good one. I used to bring donuts to the newsroom. Okay.
Oh,
The way
okay.
I feel. But so she was a receptionist,
Okay.
and that's how I met her.
I love that.
Yep.
So you were a firefighter. What got you into becoming a meteorologist? Like, where did that? I mean, they do kind of go hand in hand. I feel like, we're trying to preach to first responders of the weather. Obviously, they keep in touch with us, and for the most part.
I know we're supposed to be serious, but this is another story.
Hey, no,
Hey,
this is
lay
we're
it
fun
down,
here.
Pete.
And,
Lay it
and
down.
I'm gonna tell on some folks. Anyways,
Did you watch the episode where Carter burped on our podcast?
Stop.
you did not.
We do not need to bring that one back
Which one?
up.
Which
Catalina.
I watched the one on the tornadoes just a while back last
Well,
night.
okay.
Well,
Well, that
is
one
that
was
the
a
one?
little.
No.
It was
was
when
gonna
we were
say, I didn't
talking
hear a
about
burp.
El Nino and La Nina. He had a great analogy, but he did chug a water.
I
and-
chugged an entire water bottle.
Yeah, so you don't have to worry
Yeah.
about us being super serious.
Don't worry about
We're
that.
all fun here, obviously.
Oh God, I gotta
So-
go back. I gotta go back. I'm gonna go back, Carter. I'm sorry,
Look.
Chaser. I gotta do it.
Just be thankful you weren't in the room. It smelled like Jimmy Dean.
Oh,
I didn't smell it. Thank God. Thank
Yes,
God.
thank
So,
goodness.
you made
Yeah.
a great smoke eater.
but tell us your story. on
All
that.
right. Because I was, a firefighter, and I was always around the TV stations, especially ours.
Mhm.
Always here.
Mhm.
There was a guy named Doc Deason who was an MSU grad, not an
Met
A.
him.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did.
Unbelievable guy.
Yes.
And him and his wife loved Italian food. Well, my wife was working here, and I was always here. So Karen goes, "Why don't we just invite Doc and his wife over for Italian meal?"
Mhm.
So they come over. He chows down a bunch. Unbelievable man. And he says, "What are you going to do when you retire from the fire department? Because it's coming up, right?" I went, "Yeah, it's coming up. So what are you going to do?" And I said, "I don't know." I said, "I used to own a detail shop. I could open another detail shop." And I said, "I don't mind painting. Kitchens, not pictures. I can paint houses." And he went, "Why don't you be a weatherman?" And I'm like, "What?" He said, "You've been a lot of time on the radio. Why don't you be a weatherman?" And I watched him from the inside.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize once you watch a newscast from inside the studio, it's different. It's
Mhm.
always going to be different for you.
It's totally different.
So I'm watching. I thought that's pretty fascinating. So I said, well, I don't want to start going back to school. I don't want to leave and all that. He says, you can do it right here online. I'm like, oh, get out. And Randy Turner was working down at KTAB. He ended up being a year ahead of me at
Mhm.
MSU. He said, go talk to Randy. So I went down. I talked to Randy. I signed up. I did. I signed up.
And
And so it was Doc Deason and Randy Turner. It was so funny because you know the mathematics involved in
It's a lot,
meteorology.
yeah.
Okay, Italian guys are like, yo, I know interest rates are not the kind you get at the bank. That's what we know as far as math. That's
Yeah.
I told my professor that when my grade point dipped drastically, and I'd call up Randy. His wife is a math teacher.
Mm.
So I'd call him, hey, Rand. Hey, Pete, you want to talk to her? Yeah.
he already
He
knew.
already
as soon as
knew,
the
he
phone
knew,
rang,
He knew.
He saw the caller ID. He's like, all right, it's time.
Yeah, and I'll bet he had some help too.
Oh.
But he was a big help. Charlie Jordan, he's gone now, but he was a mentor. We were on the board of the food bank together when I was in school,
Mhm.
and monthly meetings. If I showed up with a backpack, he knew I had questions because he had a master's degree
Oh, wow.
in meteorology. He was a Commodore on an aircraft carrier. And he said, Pete, I could pick up the little red phone and say, Captain, if you don't land those planes in 15 minutes, you ain't never landing them. And they start turning the boat around.
Yeah.
Oh.
But so I was real fortunate on how I got in. And then, but also before I even started school, because the first semester hadn't started, I would come in after work if there was severe weather, and I would listen to the fire department frequency because Skywarn wasn't big back then. I mean, we're talking early, guys,
Yeah.
and Skywarn wasn't big back then, but we had a fire department scanner,
Mhm.
and that's how we would get our reports. And they wanted me to do it because I knew all the volunteers that I was spotting. And okay, that's Steve Cochran. He's the chief out in Merkel, so it's going to be west of us. That kind of
Wow.
thing. And they would say thanks.
Wow.
Oh, it was something back then, Miss Cat. I mean,
Yeah, it
the
sounds like
calls,
it.
you had to type it in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we just have to push the buttons and
No,
it's
yeah, a lot simpler.
There was
now.
no National Weather Service chat, no Facebooking. You had to type that, and you wouldn't believe how many times I messed up Shackelford.
Why?
I think I've spelled it. I don't know why the people up there ain't coming tarred and feathered me. I have spelled that. I have spelled Shackelford in all these counties, and I'm going along. Oh man! And I'd walk in, and Karen like, "You did it wrong again." Thanks.
Thanks, Karen.
Pete, I get that one because it took me over a year to figure out that Ballinger is Ballinger, not Bollinger. Because I'd be like, Bollinger.
Oh my.
Every time.
Oh, it's worse. I've seen people that aren't from here,
Mm-hmm.
and we pronounce things a tad different.
Like Colorado City, but it's Colorado.
It's Colorado.
Yeah.
It's tuxedo, not tuxedo.
Tuxedo. I've never even heard of that.
You know, and when I'm up there, it's going to be hitting tuxedo, and I'm like, oh no.
No.
There is no tuxedo.
But that's like one thing my chief, Sam Nichols, he like beat it into my head. He was like, you have to say it right because people will call.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Goldthwait. I remember one of my first run throughs on the wall and I was like, Goldthwait or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's Goldthwait. Like, you got to get it right. And I was like, oh, okay. So all the cities I for the most part.
David Bacon's really good. He always tells me, he says, hey, Carter, you ain't saying this right. I'm like, okay. How do you say? He's like, well, think of it and say it in the most hick way you can. Because that's how it's done here. It's just hick. If you're thinking, let's say, I don't know, the king of no examples in my head, but you just think that we're just very hick around here.
Kind of
That's
like
what it is.
Colorado City.
Colorado City, yeah.
And in California, it's La Mesa. Here, it's La Mesa.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
See, I mean, it's just, I don't know.
Mm.
But it is kind of neat that they help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so much of our job as a meteorologist, is about location, geography. Was being on the fire department, very helpful for you to kind of know what roads are, where the different roads are.
We used to, before they got the new system in, we used to have an hour and a half study of roads every day.
Really?
Yeah, and our lieutenant would take the phone book, boom, Pete, and he'd point to an address and he'd read it off.
Wow.
How do I get there from here?
That's awesome.
Yeah, now it's all on
It's
the
all
computer.
on the computer. Like
Yeah.
Mhm.
you asked me to go to Snyder and I couldn't tell you.
Yeah,
Like
but
I
you
know
got-
I know you have to get on I-20 and then you go for a little bit, but then you kind of have to look at the exits and then but it's like, okay, well what road do you take from there?
That's
So,
right.
so
Mhm.
But
that's
now
incredible.
there's GPS.
So I feel like that's super helpful, as you became a meteorologist and, we have to point out certain specific areas like Paint Creek or is that right?
Yeah, Pink Creek.
Paint Creek or, going up towards Knox City and like all those places. Like you kind of have an idea of, okay, this is where this is like this severe storm is.
Mhm.
This set of people needs to be aware of it. So
Yeah.
you feel like that's helped you a lot.
Oh gosh, yeah, yeah.
That's awesome.
And plus getting to know all the volunteer departments in the area.
Mm-hmm.
You get to visit their towns. Yeah, sometimes on their training nights, they would say, "Hey, Pete, can you come up and teach a class on this?" Sure. You
Yeah.
buying the coffee? I'll go.
I actually I wasn't aware of volunteer fire departments and, that their focus was in small towns. I just thought that every town had a fire department and I was out driving and we were in Tuscola, my boyfriend and I, and there was a volunteer fire department and we stopped by, gave donations, and he had explained to me, oh, they do this for free because there
Yep.
is no big fire department, to cover this area. So I thought that
Right.
was really incredible that people, they volunteer their time and their lives to keep that small community safe.
Well, you're gonna make a lot of guys happy. Them Jim Ned boys will appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, I know we're super appreciative of them. And I come from a big city from San Antonio, Texas. So
Yeah.
obviously we have the San Antonio Fire Department. So I just wasn't aware that volunteer fire departments were,
They're just
Mm.
too rural
yeah.
to
but
respond.
very appreciative of them and their work.
Oh,
And
yeah.
obviously even the bigger fire departments like the Abilene Fire Department and appreciative of their work. And obviously you giving your time to help the community and
Thank you,
you're
Miss
still
Cat.
helping the community by staying as a meteorologist and I think that's super awesome that you love being involved.
And it's like I was telling Chaser earlier. It doesn't make you a better Met if you went to the back end of things because our job is so important. If you can be informed, then you can be prepared. And what
Yes.
we do is on the information side, we get it out there. Here's what's
Mhm.
coming. Now you got a better shot at things because you're prepared. You know it's coming. And let's face it, these days, guys, we got phones, we got TV, we got radio, we got weather radios.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, there are so many ways if you want to be informed that you'll be informed. You just got to pay attention.
You do. You really do.
Mhm.
I don't think you had mentioned, but where did you get your degree?
Mississippi State.
Mississippi
I'm a
State.
bulldog.
I'm a
Hail
I guess
State.
we're all
Oh man.
I guess we're all enemies here.
No, you're not an enemy.
Hey, we beat A&M beat Mississippi State this year, so
I know. It was Miss Susanna's from Mississippi.
Mhm.
She's an Aggie, and Mississippi State is playing A&M, and unless Dak Prescott was the quarterback, we gonna get beat. That's all there is to it.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, we gonna get
yeah.
beat. When we had
Oh.
Dak, we were cool.
Yeah.
Anyways, one weekend, because we were both doing weekends, I think she was on the KR side at that time, and I was KTAB. And she pulls up, and you know how sweet she is. She's the
The
most.
sweetest.
And I went, "Hey, yo, Susie Q, I got a bone to pick with you." And she's like, "What's the matter, Pete?" And I went, "You're Aggies." But see, I love A&M. I taught 5 summers down there.
For the fire department?
Brayton Field, which is neat because you were talking about things, disasters. They
Mhm.
actually have a collapsible town. Well, it's not a town, it's a street
Oh, wow.
that they can collapse.
Like a simulation?
And you go do your you learn your search and rescue techniques. It's called USAR, Urban Search and Rescue.
Wow.
Okay.
And then when it's over, it sets right back up.
Wow, that's crazy.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
I
cool
met
too.
another man this weekend. I was in Buffalo Gap at the farmers market, and he had said that he had taught down there in College Station. So I was like, oh, okay.
Oh yeah, man, it's hot in the summer.
And humid.
Muggy too.
My
Yeah.
hair was not a fan of the weather
We'd
there.
be out there, and of course we were on the fire line. We'd be out there, and sweat would just be rolling off of you. It's
Mhm.
like, well, I thought Abilene was bad.
No, walking to class, it was
This-
terrible.
Oh,
I'd get home, I'd like shower immediately.
oh yeah.
Mm.
So I don't know how you did it. I mean, I'm sure it was okay in the fall and the winter. It was probably okay.
Seasons are a little less distinct there. So
Yeah.
it was a little warm all year round.
Yeah.
But
And you being from San Antonio helps.
yes.
How did the weather fit when you got here from
Oh
Mr.
man.
Volunteer?
So, okay, look, this volunteer right here. No, it was hot, but it wasn't as humid.
Yeah.
Which was great. Humidity back at home is miserable. It feels way hotter than what it should be.
Yeah.
But here, I guess our feels like in Tennessee is just about the same as the normal temperature over here.
I would go to visit my son. He lived in Phoenix for a couple years,
Oh,
and
man.
I'd go out there in the summer, and he'd say, "But Dad, it's a dry heat. It's 113."
That's me,
Yeah.
but whatever.
I
Well,
don't care how hot.
I know.
yeah, it was
And
pretty.
see, okay, so I lived on campus for all my years in college. You know, I've never moved out and lived by myself because housing was paid for me. I worked for housing, and it was a great gig. But I got here, I said, Dad, I can't doing this because my AC bill's going out the roof.
Oh
Electric's
gosh,
ridiculous. He was like, well, that's. He was like, how much is it? I'm like, well, I'm telling him the numbers, and he's like,
really?
no, 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 no. I was like, no, that's literally what it is. He's like, well, sorry, good luck.
That's awesome.
But getting back to knowing the streets, we were well received. All the flower companies would call you
Mm.
at Valentine's Day because they needed more drivers, and they knew the firefighters knew where the
Yeah.
addresses were.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. So you did that on Valentine's Day?
I did it one Valentine's Day. Yeah, I went ahead and helped out local florist, and I don't know, guys. Have you ever given flowers to a strange lady? Like if I were to give you flowers,
It
you
would
would
be
you
like,
would warm up my heart. Honest to God, it makes you. You know, every once in a while you get, where are they from? Oh boy, well not for me.
like, just take them, please. I'm just a delivery guy. That's how I feel when I have to give bad weather. I'm like, I'm just the delivery guy,
Right, yeah.
delivery girl, whatever.
Have you been going to a store yet and you hear, hey, yo, miss, it's never going to rain. I got 2 inches at my house last night. You know, one of
Yeah.
those.
I haven't gotten
have
that
you
yet, but when we were at the walk to end Alzheimer's, I remember
Oh,
it was
God.
raining and there
Yeah.
were some
Muddy.
people and they were like, oh, you finally got it right. And I was like, oh.
This hot shot right here, he was forecasting for KR the
Yeah.
night before.
And you know what? And that's the thing. You didn't finally get it right. You've been right 95% of the time. The only time they remember is when
It's
you
when
get
you
it
were
wrong.
wrong. Yes.
Mhm.
And then it's like, you don't go to the Sam's. don't go to the bank because you're going to hear it.
Yeah.
So about that, I met Stacy Lopez and then her husband John Mark was there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
He's
and
a
so
View volunteer
yes,
firefighter.
and so we were talking and stuff, and we were looking at radar, and I guess you had talked to him about the radar before and said, "Oh, it's gonna rain. Let's stop raining in about an hour." And he goes, "Well, my good friend said it was gonna stop raining in about an hour." And then Stacy looked at me and she was like, "He talked to Pete," and I was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "Then I trust you." It's like fine. If Pete says it's gonna stop raining in an hour, then Pete says it's gonna stop raining in an hour.
And guys, it gets worse. If you go out and you start putting fertilizer down on your front yard, once you guys get the house and you're established, and the weatherman's fertilizing. Pete, it gonna rain? Fertilizing.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
like, "Oh, he's doing something. Let's do it too." And then it doesn't rain.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
I don't know if that would work for me because I'm still the weatherman that doesn't bring an umbrella on days it is going to rain.
Also-
Yeah.
I mean, I keep it in my car. So.
All right. Well, I think it's time we kind of jump over to.
We're almost out of time. Steven's holding up the little numbers.
We honestly we
We
might
gotta go
No,
home
we're pretty
already.
good. We're pretty good on time.
Let's
But
get some donuts.
you buying, Pete?
Yeah, I'll buy. Thank you for inviting me.
No, thank you
Yeah,
for
thank
telling us
you.
about yourself. Obviously, we'll get into the first responder side of things whenever we get to the talk of Melissa, but we're going to go over it a little bit. Pretty strong hurricane that devastated Jamaica. And, even the hurricane hunters, they had to abandon their mission. I think it was twice
yeah.
because of how strong this hurricane was. It was
Mhm.
185 mile per hour winds, and then the minimum central pressure of 892 millibars.
That's pretty low.
It's pretty
Yeah,
low, and
yeah.
for those that don't know, that type of pressure, that's pretty catastrophic. That storm is
Yeah.
so strong. It also underwent rapid intensification, happened in nearly 36 hours, and I studied rapid intensification in college, and it's such a hard thing to forecast. I don't know if you did any studying of it in school, but they had stressed that it's really hard to forecast because it can happen in an instant. Like
Yeah.
Quick, real quick.
you
Mhm.
never know when it's going to happen, and I believe that the storm didn't even go under a eye wall replacement cycle.
did
It
not.
just it
No.
was so intense that it did what it did, and it made landfall on the southwestern coast of Jamaica, and it had a really intense path as well. I mean, it started as a tropical wave in the Caribbean, and then it trekked all the way through up towards Jamaica,
Yeah.
up in Cuba, and then into the Atlantic. And I don't even think it weakened into a tropical storm until it got into that cooler water in the Atlantic.
Yeah.
So very catastrophic storm. Shelly Womack and I, we spoke to a couple that was actually trapped there. Because they went on a honeymoon, and I guess obviously as a meteorologist we see these things and we can have a better idea of how these storms can work, but the general public, it's a little different for them. They obviously don't know how fast these storms can quickly intensify. So that's what happened to a lot of couples. But the couple that we spoke to specifically, they got stuck there. But thankfully, they were in Montego Bay, and the eye wall actually dissipated as it went over that area. So the winds were really strong. They showed us the conditions. I've never lived through a hurricane. Have you lived through a hurricane before?
No, never been,
Yeah.
never lived through
Have
one.
you?
No, no.
Yeah. So it was really cool to see it this, but it was also very tragic and devastating at the
Oh,
same
gosh,
time. And
yeah.
but they were very a great couple. Their thing is we're here once this is over with, like let's help. Let's stay and help. They weren't focused on getting out. They were focused on helping the community because the entire island was, whether it was they were affected by flooding or just the damaging winds, um everybody was affected out there.
Yeah.
So
And see, that's West Texas, folks. That's
Mhm.
how we are.
Yeah.
yes,
That's what I
but
love about here.
we do have a picture of the hurricane, and I believe we have an infrared image if you want to pop that up, and then we also have like a visible of it. It's a crazy hurricane. I mean, it was insane, and then the symmetry of it was nearly perfect. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
awesome. It was incredible. And same thing with the eye wall and all of that thing. We didn't see any impacts here in the big country, obviously, but
Mm-mm.
other places in the Caribbean, they saw localized flooding and the heavy rain and all
Yeah.
of that jazz. So it was just a perfect storm, and I mean, as perfect as a storm can get. But it also did compare to some strongest hurricanes that we have seen here, over the last however long. I mean, this dates back to 1935 when we saw the Labor Day storm. We have really intense storms, and it actually ranks fourth in the top 10 strongest hurricanes, which
Wow.
is crazy to me.
Mm.
But the
Ranks
thing
fourth.
it ranks
For
fourth.
some reason, I thought it tied as third.
I think I did a little
Was
bit
there
more
something
research.
else that we found?
I did a little bit more research, but this is actually my
Okay.
data that I put together.
So
So it was,
who won? Wilma?
yeah,
Yeah.
Wilma
Wilma.
won.
Wilma?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the thing about the reason, so we saw some information online, and they had it tied as third. But I believe that some rankings had them based off of wind speeds,
Mm-hmm.
and then also some had it ranked off of the minimum central pressure. So I did a combination of both, and then I ranked them that. So it may not be a perfect ranking that I have going on, but I did make a slide that showed those top 10 hurricanes. So Wilma was first. It had the lowest pressure ever recorded in the Atlantic, had extreme intensity despite its slightly lower winds than Allen's, but
Yeah.
the peak winds for Wilma was 185 miles per hour.
Mm-hmm.
Allen was second, but the Allen's pressure was a little bit higher, but the winds were faster. So they had 190 mile per hour winds, but this is the highest sustained winds on record. And then we have Gilbert, 185 mile per hour winds, 888 millibars, the third lowest pressure. And then we have Melissa, 185 mile per hour winds, 892 millibars. So this is they're calling it a new generation storm. That's why it's, so special.
Yeah.
And obviously its symmetry and its longevity and all of that things. I was gonna
I
say
wonder if
something.
they're gonna retire the name. I wonder.
I feel like they will.
I know they will.
Oh, was it?
I would almost put money that
Yeah.
Melissa will be retired.
So-
yeah.
And folks don't realize, Chaser, they don't realize that it doesn't take but three-quarters of a degree or 1 degree in the ocean
Mm-hmm.
to really
To
toss
make
the
that
cat out.
difference. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And obviously the water was still very warm.
Very warm, slow moving. If it
Oh
sits
my
there
gosh, yes.
and
Yeah.
just inches, that's all you need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people would probably ask, like, okay, what about Katrina? Because people remember Katrina, but I was
Yeah.
looking at it too because I was like, Katrina isn't really in this list. But it's because the wind speeds were lower and the pressure was lower or higher as well. But the reason why Katrina is like a remembered storm is because of the levee that broke.
The levee that broke, all the people that died.
Yes.
And,
Mhm.
and I
So it
mean,
was
we had
that the
thousands.
failure of the structure that made it so rememberable. Is that right? Is that right? Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Rememberable?
Memorable.
Memorable, not
Memorable, yeah.
rememberable.
I know what you meant.
Memorable.
So, but yeah, there's a lot of storms on here. Labor Day, Rita, Milton, which actually happened last year. I think it was after Helene.
Yeah.
We have Mitch, and then Dorian and Irma. So lots of storms that have created so much destruction. But the one thing about Melissa is it's actually our strongest storm that we've seen this year, and I believe it is one of the strongest Atlantic storms.
Not good.
Not
It's
good
up
at all.
there. And I think that's kind of why we really wanted you here today, Pete, is because you have some experience. And I don't know if you have much hurricane experience as a first responder, but you have experience going out to sites for natural disasters.
I almost made it down with the retired firefighters that went down to Galveston to help out at their last big one.
Mm-hmm.
I had to work and I couldn't make it.
Mm.
But I got a story.
Okay.
When I was a young firefighter, we had, matter of fact, it was called the Columbus Day flood. And I think it was before the F5 that hit Wichita Falls. Anyways, no, it was after. Anyways, we were actually driving up. The off-duty firefighters were coming to help, and they
Mhm.
were bringing their fishing boats. And we would actually drive up to people's porches, load them up, load the puppies up, and take them to dry land, go back and get somebody else. And that was in Abilene.
Wow.
Mm.
Is there any specific events that have happened other like than the Columbus Day flood that have stuck out to you? Like, have you ever worked after a severe weather event such as like a tornado or?
I've helped out with some tornadoes. You got to understand the reason why firefighters are very, very hesitant to go rushing into a tornadic situation.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a lot of wood in the street,
Mm-hmm.
and wood has nails.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
you don't want to flatten those tires because it's not a fire truck anymore. It make a great anchor on a battleship, but it's not a fire truck anymore. It's no good.
Yeah.
So they're very, very hesitant. And like the last tornado we had over here on South 7,
Mhm.
you knew there's a guy walking, throwing the wood to the side so we can get our fire truck with no flats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it
Because
took
you got to be able to.
so you can't go 90 miles an hour down the street.
Yeah.
Mm.
You got to go a little bit slow. Not that they're scared. It's
Yeah.
just that we got to keep this fire truck working.
Yeah.
And like getting a little more emotional, what is that like seeing like the destruction that those like events can cause? Like how do you handle that type of emotion
It,
as
take, it takes a lot of years, Miss Cat, and house fires where people lose everything, or even like some people. You know how people are with their pets.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I know you guys love your pets. I
Mhm.
love my dogs. But if I had a house fire and I lost one, I'm gonna cry.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you have to, and it's hard because you want to be professional.
Yeah.
You wear a badge, but at the same time, it's like, man, I feel for you. What can I do?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you just you sit in the fire truck and the firefighters be going back to the station. Not a word. They're
Yeah.
not cutting up, having fun, nothing.
You really
It's
feel
a
it.
it's a mood killer.
It is.
Yeah.
It knocks the wind right out of your sail.
Mhm.
Mm.
I get it. I mean, I hadn't ever saved anyone from a house, but I do storm chasing,
Yeah.
and when you are in chase mode, adrenaline high, you are hustling and bustling. But
Yeah.
then you hit the path and you see the destruction. You see the people getting out of their houses, their cars. Silence. Nothing
Mhm.
else.
It was like even after the flood, the July 4th floods, like we weren't impacted here directly in the big country, but it was truly a
Mhm.
experience that I will never forget. It takes your breath away.
Yeah.
So
And that you live with that, Miss Cap.
yes, you
Mm.
definitely do. And so how do you think that you've taken your experience as a first responder now into your job? Obviously, you're still working for KRBC. You're our meteorologist, during the evenings on Fridays. How do you take that when we see severe weather? How do you take your experience from that and combine it with what you do now?
This is perfect because I like to be a little bit like Carter in my delivery.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you and I work that severe weather, no playing.
Yes.
Okay, the bells went off. Time to go to work.
Yes.
Get serious here. But yet, when it's constant weather, yeah, I'm gonna be a little bit more like you because news can be bad, and then weather guys have the opportunity to make it just a little bit better.
Carter does have a
We
great
do.
on-air
Well,
personality.
I'm more like Pete. I mean, I got the training from Pete. I trained with Pete when I
I
got
worked
here.
with Pete a little bit when I first started.
Yay!
And I was like, yeah, okay, I can vibe with this guy.
Yeah, but then when
Yeah.
we did that severe weather event together, I
Yes.
went. She knew. She
Mhm.
knew. She knew. I got the Facebook. You take care of them.
Mhm.
Yeah, we meshed perfectly, and I couldn't have asked for a better severe weather coverage weekend. So
Yeah, and we did the same thing on the Telemundo computer that one time.
Yep.
And you're just, what are you doing over there? Facebook. You want to say hi? Yeah, sure. Let's talk about it.
But I just love that you obviously spent your life putting your life on the line, obviously working for the community, and then you went straight to continuing and helping the community and being a meteorologist, and because our job is to protect lives and
Mhm.
property
Oh,
and
yeah.
make
Yeah.
sure that everybody is staying weather aware. And so I really love that you that's just been your goal. Like, it seems like that's been your goal in life, is to just always constantly be helping people. And you seem to, even when you just come in and you're here now and you put a smile on our faces, and we just
Yeah.
Thank
love you
you.
so much, Pete.
Well,
And
thank you. I think that's why we're here, is to help each other.
It is. Well, and time's running short, but in less than a minute, I want to see if you can, look right at this camera right here. But if anyone at home is watching right now who maybe wants to get involved, become a volunteer, get into the fire department, the Air Force, meteorology, something to help other people,
Yes.
what advice do you have for
I
them?
would talk to the younger folks, um, um, the volunteer fire departments in our area. Some of them are really hurting for members. And I know there's a lot of people out there that go, I ain't doing that. Stop and think about it for a minute. You want to help your community? If you're looking for a way to help your community, especially the smaller communities, volunteer fire departments can be a good avenue for that. That's a good venue.
awesome.
All right, thank
I love that. Well, we do have one last thing we have to touch on. We are doing an event in November. Maybe you can come out, Pete.
I would love
It's
to.
on November 21st. Carter, you want to go ahead and
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, we've got something super festive to talk about this week, and that is the Breckenridge Mingle Jingle.
Mingle jingle.
Mingle Jingle. I know, I love it. It's almost here, and we're going to be right in the middle of that holiday fun. And so here's the deal, okay? We're excited to be emceeing the official event, the Christmas tree lighting ceremony, and that will be in downtown Breckenridge, which we will be live streaming as well on our bigcountryhomepage.com
yes.
for a 2-hour-long special.
Yay! You're bringing the Christmas spirit. I love it.
Yes.
And it's going to be great. It's going to be magical, great season. No better way than to have a citywide Christmas tree lighting.
Absolutely. And we're also getting the honor of being the judges for that. And obviously, it's going to be awesome. Throughout the evening, we'll be doing interviews with local businesses and visitors. So if you see us out and about, please say hello and share your holiday spirit with us. And obviously, we're going to be talking about it on our podcast after the fact. Here's one of our favorite parts. The charter bus will be leaving from the KTAB KRBC studios on South 14th Street in Abilene at 4 p.m. and it will be returning around 9 p.m. The ride is going to be just as fun as the event itself. There's going to be festive drinks, snacks provided by our friends at CC Farms and Winery, and Soggy Dog.
Man, you guys are doing it up now.
Yeah.
You ain't playing.
Look, all I'm
the Soggy
saying,
Dog. But we're going to have Christmas music playing. It's going to be if you're there, we're going to have plenty of laughter, Pete.
we will.
And then maybe even a few surprises on the way. I don't know what those surprises entail, but tickets are available now at livethelegacy.net. And you can also enter to win 2 free tickets. Don't wait too long, though. They're selling fast. So grab your Christmas sweater, bundle up if it's cold, and join us for the Breckenridge Mingle Jingle on Thursday, November 21st.
Yay. And you guys get to judge the Christmas tree decorating and all that. That's
Yes.
cool.
We do.
Super
I've
excited.
been telling everyone, no hints here, but Tennessee Volunteer Christmas Tree will have lots of votes on my end.
Or A&M or...
A lot of purple.
If you have A&M, you ain't getting many votes on mine. I don't know. I'm not going to be biased. I won't be biased.
Right.
I don't know if I'd go up there.
No, it'll be a great time. LiveTheLegacy.net. Search it up, Google it, and let's make this event happen.
Yeah. So, but it's been awesome having you here, Pete. And
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you for
being
inviting me.
Yes, thank you for being our first guest on our podcast. It's been such a pleasure, getting to know you more. Obviously, we've known you for about over a year now, but getting to know a little bit of the background it's heartwarming.
Yeah.
So
Thanks, guys.
We'll get you next time, Pete. We'll have to bring you back in.
Oh,
wow,
yeah.
for sure. Yeah, because
we
we've
were
got
all in
some
the
stuff
same
that we
fantasy league, and
Yeah.
who won last week? When
Stop.
We,
No.
Pete Beretta won.
Okay, Pete did beat me, and I'm very proud
I'm pretty
of
sure
him.
he beat me too. So it's fine. But we'll get
I
you
only
back.
beat her by 1 point.
Did you really?
Yeah, it was 90-91.
I almost beat Danny.
You almost beat Danny?
Yeah. I lost.
Oh.
All right. Well, us
Love you.
Mets are going to keep talking about fantasy football. We're going to send y'all back your way. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Carter and Kat's Weather Chat. And keep chasing the Y.